Let me talk a little bit about scale. The energy sector of our economy is about $1.4 trillion a year. We spend about $400 billion a year in imported oil. We spend about $150 billion a year on federal R&D, about $30 billion on biomedical research, and a significant fraction of that goes to the campuses. We're recommending a similar kind of an investment, 25 to 30 billion a year, most of which will flow into the existing energy research activities, the national labs and industry. And so within that range, 5 to 6 billion a year for this kind of an activity is not that large a scale. It's very comparable to biomedical research. In fact, it's less than that. It's when you add in state support and so forth, it's kind of comparable to what agricultural research has been for a long time. It's very large if you try to take 6 billion out of the 3.4 billion a year you're now spending on energy R&D. Okay? And that's the problem. Okay? It's the simple fact of the matter is, for a variety of reasons, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or whether you just think it's been to my neglect, we have throttled back in both the public and private sector the necessary investment in the new kinds of knowledge and technologies we're going to need to lick the energy challenges faced by this country. And we've got to step back up to the plate and begin to reinvest. Okay? Where do we get the money? Well, we're talking now in the trillions, right? In terms of the economic stimulus package. But in reality, we're talking with numbers much larger than that in our existing subsidy, not in R&D, but simply of the energy sector. When you talk about cap and trade or ways to control carbon emissions, you're talking perhaps in the hundreds of billions. So the money is there, the resources are there. What is absent is the will and the recognition that this is one of the great challenges today faced by our society. Will these become entrenched? Well, the energy frontier or frontier energy R&D centers are really nothing more than the engineering research centers, the science and technology centers that the National Science Foundation has been running for many years at the same size. Just the fact the Department of Energy never has gotten into that game. They're finally being lured into it. They're going to build some of these things. The National Science Foundation has been managing dozens of these things around the country. They put sunsets on them so that after 10 years they fade away. They're rigorously evaluated. We think that Energy Discovery Innovation Institutes would also be determined through some kind of a peer competition. They would have very strong kinds of evaluation, not simply for scientific merit, but what their real impact is on regional activities at regular intervals. And we would probably recommend that they have sunsets put on them so they don't become a permanent entitlement.